Hi there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and we're looking now at a Toyota Proges. Now, if you don't know what this is the same chassis as the Lexus IS 300 in North America. Here in Japan, they came in the Altezza or the Proges. Rear-wheel drive, four-door sedan, and where the Altezza is the sports car, this would have been the luxury version. Now, engine here is a 1J inline 6-cylinder 2.5 liter with direct injection, and in this case putting out 200 horsepower and better fuel economy than any other 1J, including the 2 liters. And so it is quite a little thing. 200 horsepower in this little sedan, rear-wheel drive. You've got a cool little car. Now, this one here was bought from a dealer and actually has a few interesting points in it, and so do stay tuned for that. I think we got something of a cool car here, and I think whoever bought this is going to be pretty happy with it. 65,000 original kilometers. Very nice. Let's give you a little bit of a rev. It has apparently a custom exhaust. Have a listen. Okay, the exhaust sounds good. It does have a little bit of a resonance in it. You might want to have a quick check into that. Let's have a quick check actually to see what it looks like. So yeah, a beefy exhaust. Apparently it is custom. I'm not too sure about that, but when they said it was a one-off, they might have meant that it is custom made. It could have just been customized. Who knows? Hard to say. Okay, so not much else to say about the engine here. These are, you know, an inline 6-cylinder is going to be smoother than a 4-cylinder for certain. It's going to put out an interesting power curve compared to a 4-cylinder as well. And this is why you got these smaller displacement inline 6-cylinders in Japan, because they were seen as the premium option. In fact, the 1G, which came before, I'm sorry, when I said the 2-liter version of the 1J, I was referring to the 1G. I just realized that I was talking about that. The 1G was what the 1J became. So the 1G was their first inline 6-cylinder 2-liter that came out in the 80s. As I'm saying this, I'm remembering that, oh, they had a 1M and a 2M in the 60s, which was a 2-liter inline 6-cylinder. So I had maybe been dating myself a little bit. I am a child of the 80s, and so nothing before the 80s ever made sense. That's what I'm saying, I'm claiming at least. Variable valve timing, interesting. Super cool. Now we do have a large strut tower brace from the company Carbing, which is a well-known strut tower brace company. It's a little bit higher end, I would think, than something like the typical Cusco ones. I really like Carbing company. We have used them on a number of our race cars and have been really happy with them. They also make one that attaches to the firewall. While this one doesn't, it is one of the common options for Carbing. And yeah, really high quality and really strong. Sometimes a strut tower brace is not as strong as you want it to be, and the whole purpose of having one of those is to make sure that your chassis doesn't twist too much when you're going around corners. This allows more of the suspension to be handled by the suspension of the car rather than the chassis of the car. It actually makes a good difference if you're going to be going around corners pretty quick, and even more so in something with a nice heavy cast iron block 1J in the front. So, good thing to buy. It also has one in the rear too, by the way. They got the full set. Okay, quick pull back. This was a dealer car, not bought from the auction, and so we aren't going to have an auction sheet to go off of. We're just going to have to take a look at the condition of it ourselves. But it's got those strut tower braces, it's got lowered suspension, it's got that exhaust, and it's otherwise a stately looking vehicle. Now this one is going to be something cool and something special in North America. People are going to look at it and go, what's that? I've never heard of a Proges before. Kind of looks like a Toyota. But what's this badge? I wonder if people are going to think it's a car from China. Now here in Japan, it's pretty common for every mark, like Corollas and Trudeaus and something like that, to have its own mark instead of the Toyota badge on here. But otherwise, I think people will see the Toyota likeness in it. It has the gold badge option, which is a paid extra for many Toyota and Lexus vehicles. and otherwise has very Toyota-like proportions. Cool. I'm totally into this car. Okay, let's pull around. We'll do the 360. You can see there's a camera there for looking behind you. What's that called? A rear view monitor. Okay, go past the tree here. Absolutely running out of space at the PCA lot. Now take a look. We got one of those low cars a day. Not too many to shoot at the moment. But oh my gosh, that Crown station wagon. Yes, please.
Want to see us having fun in Japan? Go check out our new channel. Link in the description.
Now the front end of it doesn't really look like anything else. It's quite interesting. The Altezza obviously has the pretty aggressive front end. This is maybe a little bit blockier, and then it has the round headlights together with the rectangular ones. We haven't sold a ton of these. I think in the, I don't know, 16 or 17 years we've been in business, maybe this is our 4th or something like that. But I think something a little different that people aren't really paying attention to in an otherwise really good, cool car. This one's also got the sunroof you can see up there. We'll now take a look for damages on the exterior. Headlights are nice and clear, it's good. Little bit of fade, but fairly clear for the age. Grille also, just a little bit of fade. Hood, looking all right. Fender, looking good. It is a pearl white, by the way. A little bit of damage here. It looks like a parking pole used to be attached. A parking pole gives you a visual reference for where the corner of your vehicle is to make it easier for driving around the tight roads of Japan. You don't see them on a ton of cars in North America usually. That's because the roads aren't as tight as they are here. Nice looking handles. I like those. You know, you notice the weirdest things when you've seen a bazillion cars, right? That doesn't look like your typical sedan handle, and I suspect that they upgraded that to make this the luxury version of the Altezza. Okay, and a little bit of a notchier back window than you get out of the Altezza as well, giving you a bigger trunk lid. I think lower this down a little bit more, put it on a little bit bigger and wilder wheels, and you've got something really special. Maybe even a subtle little spoiler on the back deck. Maybe it's blasphemous, but I think you can pull it off. Back lights, similar to the Altezza, come in 2 pieces, but obviously the stately look. And then the blackened back bumper lower section is quite nice too. It gives it that just a little bit of sporty flavor in it, in an otherwise non-sporty looking vehicle. I think if you pick the right wheels for this, this is going to be catching all the attention. And it looks like it's in gorgeous shape too. One of the things I like about the Pro Grey is because I don't think you can get them with manual transmissions, and as such, the sports car people are not really looking at them, and so prices are pretty reasonable. I don't know exactly what we paid for this. Of course, a car bought from a dealership here in Japan is going to be more expensive than one from auction, but I still think you want one of these, you got to get it from auction, or maybe you found a good one at a dealer, you're going to get a pretty decent price. Now, we believe it's been smoked in, but the interior smells more like air freshener. It's a little strong if you ask me, but I'm not a big fan of air freshener compared to most people. You know, people do buy the air freshener for a reason. My wife, for example, really likes the smell of air fresheners. Me, not so much. So you can definitely see in the interior here the luxury car influence to it. It has leather seats, and they're quite a nice high pile is not the right word, high foam content in the seat, making them a pretty nice, comfortable seat. They got the Caro mats. We're not seeing a ton of these, but the Caro brand was very popular in the 1980s and 90s for aftermarket floor mats. They sell one for every single car that is custom made to the dimensions and the anchor points of the car. And they are a very nice mat, and I quite like them. Very Japanese style. Sitting in the back seat, comfortable for an adult. A little low here, you'll get a look at me, there I am, okay. A little bit low, your head is kind of close to the headliner. And look at this. That's an aftermarket sunroof. Wow. Huh. You had 2 settings on there, open and close. Got a little cover on it. You don't see aftermarket sunroofs almost at all. What a weird little thing. I'll put that up. Most people like it up. Okay, quick look at the front. It's got wood instead of sporty stuff. I like the Alteza's interior. I'm not a huge fan of the dashboard shape behind the steering wheel. I know some people really dig it, but I like my dashboards to be a little bit more conventional. So in my mind, this is a better looking dashboard. Okay, we shall head into the front now. Pro Gray. It looks like progress, but it actually comes from the French word for progress, which is Pro Gray. Okay, double speakers and the door cards. Pro Gray kick plate. And pretty nice seats. Better than the Alteza. Sorry, Max. Not a big fan of Alteza seats. If it were my car, I'd get an aftermarket seat like you did in yours. By the way, Max is the guy that edits the videos, in case you didn't know. Power seats there. Combination steering wheel with wood and leather. The Caro mat has a little kick point for your heel. Aftermarket pedals. I believe that those are aftermarket. Actually, you know what? They look OEM. Is that what the OEM ones look like? They look too high quality to be an aftermarket, but they absolutely look like sports pedals. So perhaps it's a package that you can buy. Yeah, they feel very OEM. Wow, interesting. Little nuggets of interesting things that you see on cars when your job is to see cars all the time. Okay, you get a different little clock there. It looks jeweled and stuff. Take a look at that. See how the light reflected off of that? That was awesome. So an aftermarket unit here, for whatever reason, some double-sided tape that still has one side of it on. CD player, simple controls for your AC. This is dual zone, left and right, can set your own temperatures. This is a 2 airbag version. It looks like 4 airbags is an option. It'll say airbag there for the ones that has that, but this one here is just steering wheel and in front of the passenger. This comes up usually, but it's got something mounted onto it. Got a little bit of ash remnants in there. Ashtray is pretty clean, I would say. A little bit of deterioration in it, and then some scratches on the shift cover here. And I don't know why they do this. Have a remote control. Here we go. Have a remote control for buttons that are as far away from you as the remote control mounting location. I don't get it. Marketing more than anything, I must say. And then this guy can slide back and then can open up. Very Toyota-like. Hey, nice. This can be removed. Cup holders in there. Pretty normal kind of stuff. Surprised about that sunroof. That's something different, eh? And I like the color that they picked for those floor mats. Like gray and black. Okay, so I think we've seen enough of this car, the Toyota Pro Gray, your alternative to, well, alternative to an Alteza, I suppose, but something different. Keep it cool, keep driving what you want to drive and stand out with something like this. So that'll be the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. This is something different. We like seeing something different. And that is all we have. So thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.